So for today's video, we've got something interesting for you guys. I've got this bird which his beak is broken and needs some attention, and today I want to show you how to treat a broken beak and how to trim it. So why don't we head inside the shed and get into today's video. Now I've actually got a bird that has a slit beak, meaning he has a cracked beak. His beak is growing from the bottom up like this, and his beak's obviously growing down too long, which can be deadly, and it can go in through the neck. Now I do recommend you keeping an eye on your bird's beak, because sometimes beaks can grow, especially if you don't have natural branches or any type of toy for them to chew on. It's important that you have toys for them to chew on, because they will keep their nails trim as well as their beaks trim, and it will always provide some entertainment for the birds, especially when they're home alone and without your company. Now in my fly cage I do have lots of natural branches such as apple tree branches and laurel tree branches. These are completely safe for budgies, and they always chew on it, they always hang around on it and, you know, explore it. I'll show you an example in a moment, and then obviously this will help their beaks trim. But for this little guy, he is unable to chew because obviously his beak is very sensitive, and because he has a slit over here and his beak's growing like that, it's really hard for him to actually grip on two branches and start chewing on it. He's able to eat properly, no problem at all, but it's just his beak is broken and he's unable to put a lot of pressure on his beak. So let's get into today's video, and I'll show you how to trim the bird's beak and also how to maintain it, provide natural branches and all that, which is pretty simple. You just need to use the correct branches, making sure that they are not toxic for your birds and that they are completely 100% safe for your birds. So let me get this guy and we'll go back inside the house where we do our little kind of educative videos, and I'll catch you guys there. Now right here we've got our bird, little boy right here, as you can see. And as you can see by his beak, if we have a look at his beak right here, let me see, look, we can see that his beak is broken and it's growing outwards, as well as the top of his beak, which seems odd and seems more stronger than normal budgie beaks. But yeah, he has a slit there, which doesn't cause any problem with him. It's not affecting the way he lives his day-to-day life. It's just that he's not able to trim his beak by himself or chew any branches, because it does cause probably does cause a lot of pain in him. I don't know, I'm not a bird, but by the looks it does look like it causes a lot of pain. But we're going to treat it with a simple tool, and it's described as a nail clipper. Super easy to do.
What?
Super easy to get a hold of, anywhere you can get a hold of, and this is probably the easiest way of getting your beak trim. Now you have to bear in mind, guys, that there is a blood vessel in the beak. If you catch that blood vessel, then your bird is going to bleed and it's going to cause a lot of pain. So I would recommend, before you get in hold of your bird and, you know, trying your first time to trim it, locate the blood vessel. I'm no vet, but I would recommend you go to the internet and look up budgie beak blood vessel, and so you can get an idea where it is. Usually you can see it on beaks, but because of this guy, well, you can actually see it here. if you have a look at, I don't think you can look on the camera, but if you have a look closely at his beak, you should see a darker bit right here, just at the tip, and that's where his blood vessel ends. So if you go further up and you cut that, that is going to cause a lot of pain on the bird. Make sure you have good lighting and locate that blood vessel correctly, as well as the bottom part as well. But the bottom part, it's all the way down here, so we won't be cutting all the way there, we'll just be cutting this off, as you can see, which there's no obviously blood vessel. If we have a look at the other side where it's cracked, sorry buddy, I know it's uncomfortable, but if we have a look, see, can you see his beak right there? Look at his beak, that's how it's broken. But it's not causing, as I said, it's not causing any problem at all to the bird. He's living his best life. He does what he has to do. He eats, he plays around, he usually rests more of the time, but he's fine. But let's quickly grab this guy and start trimming. So what you want to do is, first of all, make sure the bird's calm, make sure you have control of the bird. I usually like to get my 2 fingers and hold him like that. Like that, you have control of him, as you can see on my hand. You have control of him, and you, or you can either grab him like this. And this is the better way to do it. I prefer it this way, just grab him like that. Thumb finger and your second finger, grab his neck. Obviously not putting too much pressure, I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm not even putting pressure, I'm just holding it still to make sure he doesn't judder, and to make sure when I cut, I don't cut into the blood vessel or cut into his skin, which is obviously going to be very painful. But yeah, as you can see, his beak is pretty overgrown. So what you want to do is you want to grab your clippers. So as you can see, he knows. Grab the clippers, careful with his tongue, and cut away. Like that, there we go. See, that's one part done. And obviously you'll judder around, because it is kind of weird having your beak trimmed by someone, especially a human. So be careful, just be careful. Now we're going to go into the top part. As you can see, this part is, you know, overgrown more than this part, because this part is obviously grinding on there and it's keeping it trim. But we want to get this part a bit lower. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this and we're going to go like that, like so. Sometimes it may slip because of how round the beak is, but if we go here like so, hang on buddy, hang on. There we go, like that. So there we go, you can see the difference now. Usually I will get something to like file this down, but no, it's fine. He should be fine until next month. Obviously it's like nails, so you have to be really careful when doing this to birds. It's a bit like nails, when you imagine you go too far into your nail when cutting it, it's a bit like that. So you have to be careful, but have a double check around, making sure that no other beak part is overgrowing. And I don't want to cut too in, otherwise this part will start growing outwards, and I don't want that. I'll prefer this part to grow outwards like so, than this part going inwards, which is going to be obviously more difficult for me to cut. But he's a good boy, and I'm really happy to have had him, because I can gain experience and learn different stuff with birds like these. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty simple. I don't recommend anybody who's trying this for the first time to go ahead and do it. Learn a bit about beaks and how they work. It's always good. It doesn't cost you anything to do some research. Go on Google and type in how to, or budgie beaks. Just type in, it's simple, budgie beaks, and you can get a bit of background on how budgie beaks work. Obviously you're not going to become a avian vet with that, but it will get you some knowledge and will get you a bit of understanding of what to do. Now many of you may be squeamish and may decide to go to the vet, which is fine, I guess. But for those who aren't squeamish, and prefer to, you know, do it their own, I would recommend do your research first and then go ahead and do it. Obviously be very careful. If it has taken an hour for you to try and get this beak cut because the bird is moving, it takes an hour, but make sure you do it the correct way. That's what I always say. If you click up here, this will take you to my how to remove a blood feather, and I do explain how to remove a blood feather. If you guys have a bird that is suffering with blood loss because of a blood feather, then I recommend you guys having a look at that video. It's very helpful. The views have been going up insanely on that video, so I'm really thankful for all those who chose to pick my video instead of the other 500 videos there is on YouTube, but I'm really thankful for you guys watching. So as you can see guys, this is my flight cage for those who are new, for those who are visiting the channel for the first time. This is the flight cage, and as you can see, I've got many branches here. This is an apple tree branch, this long one right here, and it's held on by 3 screws over there. This is a laurel branch over here, and this is held in by a zip tie. This is also a laurel branch right here, and this is held in by a zip tie as well. We also got these laurel branches here, all natural branches. This one as well. This is an apple tree branch right here. That one as well. That one is artificial. Well, that one's bought from the store, this one over here. But as you can see, they do chew on them, as you can see right here. They chew on them pretty often. Look, right there. You can see they chew on them pretty often, and that is what's helping their beaks become trim. Let me just turn this around. And that is what's helping their beaks become trim. If you don't have natural branches, I do recommend buying some iodine blocks right there, as you can see right there, and that will also help their beaks become trim. I personally wouldn't recommend cuttle bones. Now the reason being is because cuttle bones have no benefits at all when it comes to giving it to budgies. I did mention this in my previous video, and I will keep on mentioning it. Don't go with cuttle bones. They are rubbish. They are just rubbish. They have no benefits at all for budgies. I would recommend for nutritions and vitamins and all that, I recommend going for Nutribol or AV Mix. Now you can find these on Amazon, eBay, online, on any pet store near you. They should be available for birds. And for beak trimming, I would recommend you going for natural branches. It's the way to go, guys. In the wild, they don't have cuttle bones. They have natural branches to keep their beaks trim. In the wild, obviously they don't have nutritions and supplements, but they do have vegetables. But if you can give vegetables and fresh eggs, boiled eggs to your budgies, I think you wouldn't have a problem. You're not going to have a problem when it comes to them having injuries, because it's going to be very rare for them to have injuries or illnesses, let's say. But yeah, that's today's video, guys. It was a quick one. I hope it helped you guys out. I know many of you have budgies with the same problem as me, or maybe just overgrown in general. Try natural branches. Try putting something that they will chew on, something that they peck on, and to see if it helps their beaks become trim. If not, follow my steps. But obviously do your research first before anything, before you do any kind of cure or any kind of treatment to your budgies. Do your research first, because sometimes stuff can go wrong. Sometimes stuff can go right in the beginning, but later down the line it can go wrong. So that's why I recommend you guys do your research before anything, especially with breeding budgies. And yeah, that's the flight cage, guys. I did share the flight cage on Facebook groups, and many people are liking it, so thank you for you guys. Thank you to you guys who watched and gave positive feedback. It is really a huge improvement to what the budgies were before, but they are happy, super happy. The cockatiel's over there messing around as usual, trying to get up a stick that he can't really get up. She's doing great. Let's see how long it takes her for it to. Oh, there we go. She's back up. Perfect. But yeah, that's the flight cage, guys. This is nearly due for a clean. I do this monthly, as you may or may not know. I do this monthly. If you haven't looked at my flight cage video, once again, I've explained the improvements I've done and all the stuff I've got here for them. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Consider checking out my previous videos for those who are new. This will get you familiarized with the channel and what type of content I do. I mainly have birds and turtles and a few lovebirds. Oh, I forgot to mention, my lovebirds I did sell, so 1 to go, and that's me free of lovebirds. But make sure you click those post notification bells and set it to on. This will allow you to be notified whenever I make an upload. Follow my Instagrams, but I'm all Instagrams and everything. I'm running out of battery, so I better do this quick. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you guys have a great day wherever you are. And yeah, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye bye.